You are watching a master at work.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of We Eat, We Game, We Entertain, hosted by Tom and Morgan, where we satisfy all your cravings for fun, excitement, and delicious food. Join us each episode as we dive into the world of gaming and share our thoughts on the latest releases, classic titles, and everything in between. Then we'll shift our focus to the world of sports, discussing the biggest games and all the drama and excitement that comes with it. Finally, we'll wrap up each episode with a tasty recipe that's sure to leave your taste buds begging for more. So grab your favorite snack, settle in, get ready to be entertained, because We Eat, We Game, We Entertain starts right now. So Morgan, what are we going to be talking about today?
Hey Tom. Starting out today, we've got Sons of the Forest. I actually just bought this game today. I haven't got to play it yet. I know that you and some of our other friends have already been playing it. Talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, super fun. I'll before I kind of get into my kind of take on it, I'll read what I had jotted down notes-wise before I actually bought the game, which Sons of the Forest, it's a sequel from the developer Endnight Games, The Forest, which The Forest and Sons of the Forest are the only games that they've ever done.
And y'all played The Forest as well.
Yeah, did you not?
No, I didn't get it. I never got it.
Oh, so who was... It must have been Rick that was... Because we always had 4 people, or we tried to always have 4 people to play.
Mm-hmm.
But Sons of the Forest, it's tasking players with surviving on a cannibal-infested island as they search for clues surrounding the location of a missing billionaire. So that's kind of a stark contrast to what was the point of The Forest. The Forest, I think, I want to say it's the same island. It might not be the same island, but same premise, cannibal-infested island. But you shipwreck there with your son, and your son gets taken. So you're trying to get your son back.
I remember y'all talking about that, yeah.
Yeah, while its core narrative and visuals appear quite similar to The Forest, which I think they've done a little bit better in the graphics department. So
it's been a few years. They probably got more money now.
Yeah. It says the main character search for his lost son. The Sons of the Forest, up until it came out, was the most wishlisted game on Steam. Which that's how I found out about it.
That's crazy.
I didn't know they were coming out with a sequel. Like, I found out like a week ago browsing the Steam store. So it improved in nearly all of its core gameplay elements. Nearly everything that fans enjoyed about the first game has been markedly improved. They even let us... So this is what kind of threw me off, is when you first start out, you get some NPC character named Kelvin that kind of like follows you, but he's like a mute idiot.
Okay.
Best way to explain it.
Yeah.
He's just you go tell him what to do.
Okay.
And he'll do it for you. He grabs fish. You'll see 30 fish on the ground in like 10 minutes. You tell him to grab log, same thing.
He's about that life.
Yeah. And it says from my notes that we have the option to recruit the guy named Kelvin, but he just kind of follows you wherever. You can tell him to, like, I guess, pause, take a break, stop here, but, why would you when you get free? It's free labor to help you with the quote-unquote grindy part, which is just, like, gathering logs, because you want to build, like, you can build a little log cabin, fires, storage space, all sorts of that, like that stuff.
Nice. I think that's what we usually like about games, is ones that we can kind of survival building games. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The good thing, so I guess it's not the same map. It's 4 times the size of the original, so that's good.
Nice.
So we ended up buying it last night. It's been out since the 23rd, and it's the 25th today. It's $30, so it's like it's half the
affordable.
price
Yeah, I
of a
normally don't
normal
buy new
game.
games, and making it $30 is one way to get me to do it.
Yeah, it says it's early access, but I don't. From what I read, it might just be because of like they might have bugs. Like
Hmm.
some of the little things that I found is they don't have like good traps or good defenses that you can build against the cannibal people, um, mongoloids for lamest terms. That's what I've been
Are
calling them.
are there any?
You can do like spiked fences,
Okay.
but in
Yeah.
the older one, you could put like fences with like poles sticking out of it. I mean, we haven't dove too deep into the game. We've because there's also the main story is going to find the billionaire that's lost and his wife and daughter. But we've just kind of been looking for stuff, searching caves, just building up.
Nice.
It's way fun. I mean, we got Gary and Lee playing it right now while we're doing this, and I was
Yeah.
just on there playing it with them too. So,
I'll probably hop on after this.
oh, same. Yeah, I'm not this and then play the game and watch some UFC. So, but yeah, the Forest, it's already out, so go pick it up. Comment if you want to play. The multiplayer changed. It used to just be 4 people you could have in the original one. Now you can have up to 8 people, so
Oh,
that's
that's
also
good.
pretty tight.
Plenty
So
for us.
that's another thing that we run into is we have five or six main people that we're on that like to play, that we all like to play the same game and the same match. So this is another one that we can all join up and have fun. So
Yeah. The 4-player ones are usually pretty limited.
yeah, kind of stinks. Oh, one person always gets left out. So, but yeah, so it's on Steam right now, $30. Says it's in early access, but I haven't ran into any big problems. I've only played it for 4 or 5 hours, but
Do you have to feed this Kelvin dude? Is that what I'm reading here?
uh, so what I had written down, so the game hadn't come out yet, so it was basing off of a bunch of other like quote unquote reviews that I've read. I don't know if they had played
Hmm.
the game or they had just seen like gameplay.
Got you.
We
That
haven't
makes
fed the
sense.
guy yet.
Okay. Yeah, that's my question.
We
How
haven't
hungry is
even
he?
like we told him to go fishing. We didn't give him a spear or anything. It looked like he was fishing with like invisible fishing line. So,
Nice.
but he did what we needed to do. What we needed him to do was just to gather fish. So, um, yeah, not
It is helpful in the grindier games to have some automation, though.
yeah. But as far as like Kelvin being emotional or emotionally needing,
Yeah, that's what I
he's
was
not
reading.
really emotional and he's not really dynamic.
Yeah, interesting. I
So
wonder
he,
maybe if that'll change over time or something.
yeah. And there's also different like biomes in the um on the map because
Have
I
you
ran
been?
to I ran into snow earlier today
Okay.
on my server.
I wonder if he reacts to that because this says something about that as well that he may.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll have to maybe give him. There's an option to give him stuff, so you might
Gotcha.
have to give him, clothing.
A coat.
Which yeah, you have to get when you crash, onto the island. You don't have really anything,
Hmm.
so you have to make everything from scratch. Kill shit.
Makes
All the
sense.
fun survivor stuff, but I'm enjoying it. $30, you can't beat it. So, and we played the Forest. I think the only reason we stopped really playing the Forest was because we all bought it on PS4, and I think a couple months after we swapped to, we all started getting PCs. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, I think that's the only reason we really stopped playing. Was your cat whiling out?
Yeah, it's making some noise back there. I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, no, sounded like he knocked over something, but
Deal with that later.
any other games you want to talk about? TFT, did you play any more of that?
I haven't been playing much of that. I started a Civ game that I've been stuck on for a while. I've been playing as, I'm having cat interference right here, but I've been playing as Japan. And that's been taking me a lot longer than I had intended. I think that I selected a longer game mode than I should have.
I didn't know you could select. What's the different game modes, I guess?
Well, it's really like the length of the game. So there's like standard length, quick game, and online game. And it's like it just, the things that you're researching and doing and creating take
Just
less
take longer.
time. Yep. And I accidentally picked the standard game, which takes a really long time.
True. Well, yeah. If there, I mean, I only really wanted to talk about the Sons of the Forest because that was the big one that's coming out, and probably really the only one I'll be playing besides hopping on Modern Warfare 2, hitting multiplayer.
Yeah, I've been playing that a little bit. I bought the full game. I don't know if I had bought that the last time that we did this, but that's been pretty fun. It's easier to level up your guns and stuff on there.
Yeah, and as much as I hate the multiplayer, I like the multiplayer.
It's better sometimes to not have to spend all your time finding stuff and then dying. And
the voice chat's just hilarious in some matches.
Yeah. I usually mute everybody. I can't handle it most of the time. It's too loud.
I love it.
They're just too much. And then people have like their AC on, like.
Oh no! Blast. If it's like that, I gotta cut them out. Or kids whiling.
Yeah. And somebody with a scary dog the other day.
But yeah, all right. So we'll swap it up. Make sure you pick up Sons of the Forest. Drop a comment if you guys do. Maybe we'll be able to play together. So we'll swap it up to football because the last time we did a recording was right before the Super Bowl. So we'll touch back a little bit.
Yep. I think that we were discussing earlier who we had picked for the Super Bowl.
The Chiefs won.
I don't want to gloat too much here, but I was correct.
Yeah, off some bullshit little... I mean, he did get held, but, playing through the game, that was the least amount of holding on that play, and it didn't really... It was just... They gave it to him, but whatever. It's football. The refs suck. Everybody knows it. The Chiefs won. The Eagles lost. What are you going to do? On to the next year. None of my teams, but the Chiefs fucking won. So, an old Elmo, Sesame Street Patrick Mahomes, I get to hear him.
Reminder that all of the sadness is coming from a fan of the division rival Raiders.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, can't. I'm looking forward to the draft. So, been doing mock drafts and everything.
Me too. Yeah. So. We've got to get some of that going. I guess we've got a couple months before the draft. It's in April, I think.
Yeah. It's mid to end of April. Yeah. We'll have March Madness before.
Yeah.
Yeah, March Madness is in less than a month, so we'll be going heavy into that, making brackets.
We've got the Combine soon as well for the NFL.
Yeah. The Combine, I think, is coming up pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think that's within the next week or so.
I think that the U.S. quarterback is going to do really well at the Combine.
Oh, Richardson?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's made for that. He'll look real good, running.
Yeah, so the combine starts in 3 days on Tuesday and runs till Monday, March 6th. A week
Okay,
after
yeah.
that,
So we can
we
talk
get
about that next time.
yeah, we'll get to see who, because I always like to look at different players, even if they're not from any teams that I watch college wise,
Hmm.
and kind of who would I want to see on the Raiders. And there's a couple late round draft picks that I think would be good additions. So hopefully they do well, or not too well that they boost themselves up.
What pick do the Raiders have?
They have the 7th because Falcons have the 8th
Yeah. Okay. So
back to back.
what do you think? You think they'll take a quarterback?
I want to see. So
Is there a young quarterback on the team already?
no, we have. I don't think we have any. Yeah, we don't have anybody on as a quarterback right now. Maybe Chase Garbers was a practice.
Okay.
He was a practice squad quarterback that got called up when we ditched Derek Carr. But yeah, Jared Stidham's not re-signed. He was on a 1 year.
Hmm.
Derek Carr, he got released. So
We've just got Desmond Ritter, I believe. We'll
mhm.
have to sign some veteran backup for him, or that's what I hope that we do is just sign a veteran backup and roll with Desmond Ritter.
Or just third round get Stetson Bennett.
Nah, I, I don't think he's worth it. What's he
Yeah.
do? I mean,
He's a quarterback. What do you mean? He just won the national championship 2 times.
did he win it though, or did the
Yeah,
rest of
you
his
see
team
that
win it?
arm?
I don't think
Yeah.
it's that good. We'll see if I bet he won't throw at the combine.
Yeah, I don't. He'll be a third, fourth round pick. Somebody will take a chance on him. Patriots, one of those teams that likes to sit on quarterbacks.
You remember? Well, there's no time to sit on him because he's already old. You remember Brandon Whedon was drafted at like 28 years old or
Yeah,
something like
28.
that. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that
he got taken in the first round.
he
But
did
Stetson
by the
Bennett's not
Browns.
28. He's 25.
Hmm.
So, isn't Anthony Richardson old too? Or no, I'm thinking of
Nah.
the Tennessee quarterback.
Okay.
Um, can't
No.
think of his name. Hooker, Herndon Hooker. He's
Richardson
20.
is 20 or 21.
Yeah,
I
but
remember. So my first year that I moved down to Gainesville, Anthony Richardson was in high school in Gainesville. He went to Gainesville High,
oh, okay.
or no, he went to East Side.
So yeah, a lot of draw around him.
Yeah,
So how long have you been? He's what, a sophomore, junior in college?
I think he's a sophomore. I've been here for 5 years.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Mm,
But yeah,
COVID.
I want to see as far as Raiders QBs if they'll draft someone. I want to see who they pick up in free agency because free agency starts right after the combine. So if we
Yeah,
pick up a quarterback within there, depending on who goes before us in the draft, I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind Anthony Richardson. I don't think he's not the
um,
best thrower, but he's a good
it's
duel.
he can throw it. That's not the problem. The problem is that when he drops back, it takes him like 5 seconds to realize who he needs to be looking at.
But he can run. He's fast as hell.
He is fast. He's very fast. Maybe with a good line and stuff. He didn't have the best situation here at UF this year. It was a new coach, so we'll see. I think that he has potential to be good. It's just does he put in the effort and do it? I think he got arrested for driving way too fast in Gainesville recently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Character issues. So, all right. Yeah. Combine starts this week. We'll be able to talk about that next time. So, no real big football stuff besides what we just went through. We'll go to basketball. NBA, what we got?
Yeah, a few things have happened. We had the All-Star break, which was interesting. The All-Star game, of course, sucked. It always does. They don't put any effort into the game, but there was at least a few interesting things to watch within the game. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were on different teams. They had a 1v1 for like 5 possessions in a row. It was really interesting to watch. The slam dunk contest.
Yeah,
I think that guy's name is Pat McClung.
Mac McClung.
Mac McClung. Well, yeah, he's back in the G League now.
Oh, they didn't keep him up, or what is it? Orlando
it
or
was
Philadelphia?
Philly. He was on a 2-way. Yeah, they didn't keep him up, but he's doing really well in the G League, and he was crazy at the slam dunk contest. He had a
He
few
made
incredible dunks.
Yeah, he made more money at the dunk contest than he did on his contract.
Dang. Hopefully they at least like bring him back next year. He may have helped save the dunk contest. Honestly, it's been dead and very boring the past few years. So we'll see if.
Yeah, and he's the second white player to win the dunk contest.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I remember, what was it, last Saturday it was on. I had just randomly turned it on because I was like, oh, slam dunk contest. Nobody was online, so I was just watching it. I was still getting over. I was a little under the weather last week, so I was just watching just different stuff. And yeah, it was kind of bland. The guy that I saw first dunk kind of just went up and put his elbows. He dunked to where his elbows were on top, like he was hanging
Okay.
from his elbows.
He put his arms through the hoop or whatever.
Yeah, the forearms were through the hoop, and it was just like, you didn't really jump that far. You're tall, so yeah, of course you can do that. And then Mac McClung came on.
He's like 6'1" or something.
Yeah, he's short. Yeah, a little taller than Nate Robinson. And he had a kid get on top, like kind of sit on the dude's shoulders, hold up a basketball, and he dunked, grabbed the ball from them, tapped the backboard, and dunked it. And the dude, yeah, he's short. It was just, and he got a perfect score.
Yeah, he can jump. He can definitely jump.
Yeah.
Other things in the All-Star weekend was the 3-point shooting contest, 3-point shootout, whatever they call it. Damian Lillard won that, which Steph didn't participate, and I don't think he'll ever participate again because it's really not fair for him to do that. So I think this was Lillard's first one, and he said that he's not going to do it anymore as well.
Did anybody from Golden State do it?
I don't think so.
Because Klay Thompson could go in there and win it too.
Oh,
for
yeah,
how many?
for sure. But they don't need it. They've cemented their legacy. That's not how they need to prove themselves. Also, with the All-Star break, we traded for Sadiq Bey right before it. The Hawks did. I don't know if we talked about that.
Did it go through because somebody's physical or whatever?
Oh, yeah, no. So it went through. He's been playing for us. He's doing fine. He's been, I think, a good pickup for just a bunch of second-round picks that our owner was probably going to try and sell anyway.
Yeah, I know. When we talked last time, it got held up because of so-and-so didn't pass a physical or something.
That's right.
Or they lied. So
whoever Portland traded, I think it was Gary Payton, but it was to the Warriors. Other big news since then, we fired Nate McMillan, the Hawks did, which was our head coach. I kind of was expecting this to happen. He has been slacking as of late, and I've read that he asked to quit like weeks ago and just hasn't been allowed to yet. They're going to try and find a replacement for him before the end of the season to finish the season, and then we're working on a coach for next season as well. I think his name's Quinn Snyder. He's a former Jazz coach and coach of the year. We're working on finalizing a deal with him right now. That'll be a huge improvement to our current hands on the hips, not doing anything.
I think the Hawks, since he's been fired, have kind of responded. And at least Trae Young's been putting up points. He
Yeah.
always does, but he's been doing more so.
In the game, whenever Friday, I know he had more than 10 assists, which is always good.
I don't know. I think it's kind of funny whenever, and this happens in football too, whenever they fire the coach halfway through the season and it's still halfway through the season because it's All-Star break.
Yep.
The game plan gets simplified and they play so much better. I feel like maybe not all the way through, but at least for the, first little stretch that they are getting used to the coach. It's simplified so it makes it like easier to run stuff.
It honestly seemed like we were throwing the previous few games to like try and get them fired. Like we played really, really bad for a few games.
Yeah, if he had asked for them to release him and they hadn't yet, he might have just been, just go play.
Yeah.
And just calling the just wrong plays for the situations. But yeah, that's no way to play. Hopefully he wasn't doing that.
But hopefully we make it in the playoffs and can make a run. We'll see.
Yeah, you guys are 2 or 3 out from the play-in, or are you in the play-in?
I think we're like 1 or 2 out from the play-in right now. We can definitely get back in. There's enough time. It's just we've got to go on a good run.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nothing really else for NBA, right?
No, that's all. We've got some UFC. Go ahead.
I was going to say one thing before we jump into the UFC stuff. I know we got a lot of that, but college basketball we don't really talk about. I was watching a game. I always come up before I go to bed, and my dad's always watching college basketball before he goes to bed. Mm-hmm. And there was number 7 Arizona going against Arizona State, which Arizona State's unranked.
Okay.
They were trading leads pretty much the last couple of minutes. Comes down, I think it was the last, possession. They had Arizona State had the ball, going, went in, shot, missed, and came out, fouled them, so they had to do foul shots. Mm-hmm. Arizona was ahead. I think it was like 88, 86. And after the free throws, they had like 2 seconds on the clock, 2 or 3 seconds. So he makes the one to make it 88. The point guard takes it out from, the free throw line. They pass in the free throw line, 2 seconds left. Throws up a flipping Hail Mary from like right outside the opposing 3-point. So that's got to be like 50, 60 feet.
Yeah.
That's and really just far. Drains it. Beats Arizona, number 7. Beats them 89 to 88. Game's over. Crowd goes nuts. The crowd doesn't go nuts because it was in Arizona.
Okay, yeah.
But the whole team rushed. I just you don't see many of those to just win.
That's awesome.
Arizona was you could tell they're highly pissed, but it's like there's literally nothing. That was just luck.
Yeah, that's luck. You got to make the game closer or further away than 3 points if you want to prevent that.
And yeah, they all looked like dumbfounded. Like, dude, we just lost. Like, what?
Yeah. That would be the worst way to lose.
And that's on ESPN.
Yeah, for sure.
That's their top 10. All that. And they're even saying, shot of the year, stuff like that, which could be, unranked.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Arizona State coming in, sticking with the number 7 Arizona, which Arizona's been good basketball wise for a while. So
yeah, they're always good.
But Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but that was one thing I saw this week that was you don't really see that in too much of basketball right now. So
Yeah, I'm excited to get into March Madness and kind of see what the future holds for the draft and stuff.
oh yeah, I'll always have it on. So, but yeah, moving on to UFC. 2 weeks ago was UFC 284. Volkanovski versus Makachev. Volkanovski got robbed.
I did watch this.
Yeah, I think if anything, it should have been a tie. They gave it to Islam because, who knows?
The key word there is gave. I do think that like the other guy seemed like he won. I admittedly missed the first 2 rounds. I think so. I'm not 100% sure what went on there, but the rest of it, the dude was smashing on him.
Yeah, well, the thing yeah, go for it.
Yeah, he was just holding him on the ground and not doing anything, and the other guy was like, honestly, doing more damage to the dude that was holding him.
Yeah, that's what Dagestani wrestlers do. They hold you on the cage and put all their weight on you to tire you out, and then they'll, submit you or knock you out. Either way, you get so tired. But Volkanovski was able to get out of most of them, and then he had beat the pulp out of them. If you look at the end, Islam's face is mashed up.
Yeah, he's all messed up, and the other dude is like talking and all good and stuff, and then the Islam dude can't even talk.
Yeah, reaching for breath. Volkanovski maybe had a cut or two. Islam was physically looked worse. But the UFC refs, I guess, or wherever, they were in Perth, so maybe the Perth refs love just people hugging each other. Anyways, they need to run it back, because I don't think that was a straight-up win. After Volkanovski gets to, he faces Yair Rodriguez next, because that was the co-main event for that one, which was the featherweight, which is Alexander Volkanovski. That's where he has his title, is the 145 pound. So they did like a, hey, this is who you're fighting next, interim title. Yair Rodriguez won by submission pretty easily. So they'll fight next, and I'm sure he'll try and fight Islam Makhachev or whoever if Islam loses his next fight. But going on to the week after, wasn't really any crazy fights either. It was kind of just, it was a UFC fight night. It was Andrade versus Blanchfield, which aren't really big names. They're big names in the women's, because Andrade used to be a champion, but it wasn't really any crazy names that fought. And she ended up losing. To Blanchfield, which she has been undefeated in the UFC so far. And
this was last week?
Yeah, she... she was supposed to fight Talia Santos, but due to visa issues for Santos, the former 115-pound champion Andrade stepped in. So she was kind of late out, a week out, but she takes it. Hats off to her for doing it, but she got kind of battered throughout the whole performance. I saw some of the fight, and she was just getting pieced up, and then she got submitted in the second round, I want to say.
It always sucks when you don't really have time to prepare.
Yeah, luckily she doesn't have to cut a bunch of weight, so it's not crazy. But yeah, no real crazy fights.
Did they cut weight like that in the women's?
I want to say, I think Amanda Nunes does, because she's just this big. They made a division for her, and I don't think she's not the She's not the she's the only person in that division now because it's like a defunct one because they don't have women that fight in that division.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 145, maybe 155. I want to say 145. But like a lot of women, they're not, if they fight, they're going to be like 115, 125, 135. 145 is just massive for a woman who works out constantly, is in good cardio shape, unless you're like a big Amazonian. And I guess they don't have a lot of those in the UFC. I guess they need to go to the Russia and find them.
You get some winners there.
Yeah. But yeah, so tonight, actually, there's a card that's going on. Also, not a lot of big fights that I like. You know, it's UFC Fight Night, Krylov versus Spann. Ryan Spann. I was actually talking to your brother Lee about this earlier. He beat the brakes off of Dominique Reyes, which is a light heavyweight. You know, he's been a mainstay in that division for a while. Mm-hmm. So it's probably going to be a good fight. I'll watch it, but nothing really crazy in UFC these past 2 weeks.
What time does it come on?
So the prelims are going on right now.
Okay.
Main card starts. Actually, the main card starts now in like 10 minutes.
Nice.
So it starts at 7 and it's 6:50, 6:53.
Yeah, I'll probably catch some of that.
Next week, though, is the big fight. The one I'm looking forward to. It's UFC 285. It's going to be 2 title fights for the co-main and main event.
Mm-hmm.
This is when they have, early prelims that start at, 5 o'clock. Looks like they have Ian Gary on, which is a good fight. Excuse me, for early prelims. Preliminary card has Derek Brunson and Duplessis fighting, which are middleweight. They're pretty high ranked. They're both top 10. I think Duplessis is number 6, and I think Brunson's in the top 5. And then to round out the preliminary card, which looks like starts at 8, Cody Garbrandt and Trevin Jones, which Cody Garbrandt is an old bantamweight champion. He was a champion years ago, but ever since he's had one win.
Okay.
His chin isn't what it used to be. He gets knocked out too much now. He's just not as durable as he was.
I'd quit fighting if I got knocked out a lot.
Yeah, so he's 12-5, which I thought he had more losses, but I don't know the last time he won. I guess he won in 2020. But yeah, other than that, he's lost his last 2 fights. So, and he moved up a weight. He moved down a weight class. He moved from bantamweight to featherweight.
Oh.
To try and
be bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't work. He got whooped. So it looked like he moved. Looks like he moved back up.
Is that next Saturday?
Yep, it's next Saturday, and that's only the prelims. So the main card, every fight should be good. Who starts out the main card is Bo Nickel, which is like a super awesome wrestler. He just got signed to the UFC 1 fight ago. He's had 1 fight, but he's like this wrestling prodigy. So Bo Nickel, he's 3-0, fights Jamie Pickett at middleweight. And then after that, it's Gamrot versus Turner, which they're good lightweights. They're I know Gamrot's top 10 in the lightweight division. In the lightweight division, I feel like it's the most stacked as far as good fighters. I think top 15, they could all fight each other and it would be a good fight.
What weight is that?
155.
Okay.
So that's the one Conor McGregor's in.
Yeah.
Islam Makhachev's the champ. Michael Chandler's in it. Dustin Poirier. Tony Ferguson.
So
A bunch
it's like
of others.
it's the main one.
Yeah, it's their big money
Yeah.
division, if there were to be one. And for the third to last fight in the main card, it's going to be Geoff Neal and Shavkat Rakhmonov.
You definitely said that right.
Yeah, probably. But Shavkat, he is a crazy fighter. That dude's also undefeated. He's 16-0. But I don't think he's had a decision fight. It's either he's knocked out the dude or it's been submissions.
Ooh.
So they've never
good,
lasted. Then. So yeah. Oh, these last 3 fights are going to be, all 5 of them will be good, but these last 3, because the women's flyweight, which Valentina Shevchenko is fighting Alexa Grasso. Shevchenko always fights well.
Mm-hmm.
It's another. I think she had a decision last time where she should have lost, in my opinion, but they kind of gave it to her. But she's also a knockout machine. So she's had, I think every fight besides the last one I saw of her, she's knocked out the person. So
I don't know if I've ever seen that in a women's fight.
Oh, it's awesome. I think the women that fight in the UFC fight harder than the guys, or it looks like they fight harder.
It does seem like the effort is really there, which is appreciated
because they just throw blows.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she, I think she'll keep it. I think she'll keep the title. She'll knock out this chick, or it'll go to decision. The main event, though, is the heavyweight vacant title. The old guy, he left the UFC, Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
Big dude.
I know who that is.
Yeah, and if you've seen Jackass Forever, he's the dude who punches Aaron McGeehee.
Yes.
Yep. In the nuts. And they say his punch is like getting hit by a Ford Escort going like 50 miles an hour or something. So It's the big dude that punches Aaron for the cup challenge in Jackass Forever.
Yeah, I remember that. That's hilarious.
So yeah, for people who haven't seen it, but he's the old guy, so he stepped out, said he wasn't getting paid enough. So he's no longer in the UFC. So John Jones, the former light heavyweight champion, mainstay. They honestly say he's the GOAT, greatest of all time, UFC wise. I'd say he's top 5 greatest of all time.
He's gonna fight?
Yeah, so he's been bulking up for the past year.
He hasn't fought in a while, has he?
A year or 2.
Okay.
He was banned for a little bit because he enjoys doing drugs.
Yeah.
And other stuff. So I think he did. There's interviews where he's like, "Oh, I'm on cocaine and I still whooped you in this fight." What does that tell you? I did cocaine and drugs and alcohol the night before and I still woke up and beat whooped you.
Yeah.
So, but apparently he's clean now. He's passed all the USADA drug tests, anything that he needed to do. So he'll put on a show against Cyril Gane. I think he wins. It doesn't matter if he's had time off. The dude's crazy. Really good fighter. Really good wrestler. Really good striker. Just all around.
So I'll have to watch that.
Yeah. The only thing against him is he's getting up there in age. I think he's late 30s, 35, 36. So if he's lost a step or something, that might have, ramifications. But we'll see. March 4th. That's when it's gonna be. So, as far as UFC, I think that about sums it up too.
That was quite a bit. That was good. I think that's the
Yeah.
most we've had about that so far.
Oh, and yeah, now that football's gonna,
Yeah.
taper off, and basketball, in the next couple of months is gonna taper off too. Well, yeah, UFC is a mainstay.
Yeah.
That's what I thoroughly enjoyed when COVID and everything happened. The NBA, the NFL, they all kind of shut down.
We had the bubble in the NBA.
Yeah,
Disney
but
World.
yeah, that shit sucked. It's
It
the
was
only
cool.
way the Lakers got their title.
That is true.
So
Bubble boys.
yeah, it was whatever. But the UFC, if it wasn't every week, it was every other week. They're putting on fights in their little Abu Dhabi fight island.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's when I really got into the UFC. Like, I'd watched it before. I watched it when Conor McGregor was big, when he was the double champ. I actually saw him beat Jose Aldo at a bar. Not like in person, but he was on TV.
They were fighting at the bar.
I actually saw him whoop dude when I was at the bar. I was like, oh, what's up? No, but yeah, I remember paying $20 to get into the bar because UFC fight, you pay to get in, so they make their money back. And I was so pissed because that fight lasted 5-6 seconds. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Yeah.
No.
It was him and Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo like taps him once or twice. Conor McGregor, taps him once, and then Jose Aldo gets knocked out, and that was it. And I was like, that's the whole fight. And then it's over. Bar clears out. I'm like, well, this sucks.
Yeah, that's not really worth it. That is.
Yeah, I was a bit butthurt, but
how much was it?
Yeah, I think I paid $20 to get in, 10 or 20.
That's a lot.
It wasn't worth it. Yeah, after. So, but the bar was packed, so they made their money and they were everything. But yeah, that's why I stay with the UFC, even with all the stupid crap they do, like the power slap stuff, Dana White being an idiot.
Are they doing the power slap stuff?
So the UFC doesn't, but Dana White puts it on. So it's under the same umbrella. They still have the same, I want to say the guy, if you watch, did you pull up the stream that he was streaming it off of ESPN Plus, the fight that we were just watching before we got on here?
Yeah.
So that judge, Jason Herzog, I'm pretty sure I've seen him on the power slap as their judge.
Yeah.
So uses the same judges, but I just think the whole slapping.
No, they shouldn't be doing that.
It's the stupidest. Yeah, it's the quickest way to CTE I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's very unhealthy.
And I don't know how it's on live TV. I don't know how we cleared that. Or not we, but anybody cleared it. But yeah, the UFC, it was on. COVID got me through college in the COVID times. It was the UFC fights, so I'll always watch. I'm always interested. And who doesn't love watching people beat the shit out of other people?
It's fun sometimes. I
like knockouts and big, whoa moments and all that.
Yeah.
So, sorry if that hurt your ears. I got a little excited, so.
It wasn't that loud.
But, yeah, I think that's all for sports. So, we'll go into the recipe of the week. So, Morgan, what do you have for the recipe of the week?
I don't know. It's not on here.
No, I made the recipe actually a couple of weeks ago. So
I saw the video. I don't remember what it was.
I haven't published it yet. So
is that a different video?
No, I had made this recipe about 2 weeks ago, filmed it, and then I just finished editing it this week and did the voiceover. And then on YouTube, you can set a premiere date.
Mm-hmm.
So I set the
Okay.
premiere. It actually just premiered 6 minutes ago. So you can
Very
catch the last, 30 seconds, because I think it's only a 5 or 6 minute video. The premiere right now. But not for any of you guys listening, because this is not coming out when it got premiered.
Yeah.
But it's chicken cordon bleu casserole.
Ooh,
So
that sounds good.
if you're listening to audio only, you're going to want to head over to We Game, We Entertain, that YouTube channel, which will be in the description of this, and watch the video. One thing I will say that I did not do when I cooked it, and I kind of reference it in the video, was it was a little dry. I didn't put enough cream of chicken or cream of mushroom soup in it. Other than that, it was, as your brother Lee would say, scrumdilly. So,
Gotta try that. It sounds good.
yeah, all the video watchers, you'll be watching it right now. We have the panko breadcrumbs, spinach, mushrooms, Dijon mustard, some cubed ham, cream of mushroom soup, some egg noodles, Parmesan cheese, and chicken thighs. What you want to do to start out is get a pan going, medium heat, and your water boiling for the noodles. Once your pan gets pretty hot, you're going to want to start putting in your chicken. And also, once it starts boiling, get those egg noodles in. Egg noodles are going to cook pretty quick, but you want them in so you can get that out of the way. You're going to cook each of the chicken thighs probably about 4 or 5 minutes on each side. Continuously stir the noodles too, so you don't want them sticking together, getting clumpy and all that. And once your noodles are al dente, perfectly cooked, you're going to want to drain them, set them in a large metal bowl, and start cooking your mushrooms and also your spinach. So it doesn't, in this video, it doesn't show me cooking the spinach down. I'd lost that video clip for some reason. A couple of times I'd lost video clips on that day, which was very disappointing, but what are you going to do? Alright, once those mushrooms are cooked down, you can add that straight to the bowl with the noodles. Set that off to the side still. Make sure you get everything out of the pot. And this is when I went ahead and put in the spinach also, but you won't see that. Yep. And so here I'm adding the spinach in. Do that, and then set that off to the side again, because we're going to be chopping up the chicken. And with the chicken, I kind of just went with a rough chop. Doesn't have to be too crazy. You don't want super large pieces, but you don't want it really, really small either. So once again, with all my cooking, it's cook how you want it, chop how you want the stuff up. It's all your discretion. If you follow me to a T this time, if you end up making it another time, you might add something, you might change how you do it. It's all up to the person who's cooking, honestly. Also, this is another part that did not get recorded for some reason, where I added the cream of mushroom soup and also the Dijon mustard. You do see me adding the diced ham up. So once that's all in there, you're going to want to mix it all up. Now you want to wear gloves for this because it's pretty disgusting. And there it is. Add it all in. Added the chicken in too. And then I'd said Parmesan earlier. This is actually Swiss cheese, because Swiss cheese normally goes in with cordon bleus. So this is grated Swiss cheese. I think I added a little bit of Parmesan, but like I said, add whatever cheese you like. Swiss is just normally what goes in a chicken cordon bleu, so that's what I went with. And then after that, I went ahead and put on some panko breadcrumbs. Looking back, the one thing I would have done is I either cooked it a little bit too long, or I needed to add another can of cream of chicken or cream of mushroom because it was way too dry. It wasn't like super dry, but it was dry enough to where it could have been better. So other than that, and seasoning at every step, I didn't salt and pepper at every step. I salt and peppered at the end because I remembered at the end, but seasoning with salt and pepper at every step's a must-have. And then personally, I would add another can of the cream of mushroom or cream of chicken. But after you have all that, I set the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and popped that baby in. Went ahead and since everything's cooked, you're just waiting for the cheese to melt. After the cheese melted, I turned on the broiler for a couple of minutes to get the top crunchy. After that, came out. I kept the sound on, but the kitchen was way too loud. You could hear sweet, crispy noises. And here's the finished product.
So thanks everybody for watching We Eat, We Game, We Entertain. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did making it. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on all our latest content. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, feel free to leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, keep exploring new recipes, mastering your favorite games, cheering on your favorite teams, and indulging in all the latest entertainment. See you soon.
Bye-bye now.